What if Rodri leaving Manchester City isn't actually a disaster? What if it's the thing that finally forces City to become a different and potentially even better team? Because, let's be honest, if Rodri leaves, everyone is going to talk about what Manchester City are losing. The control, the passing, the defensive protection, the big game experience, the Ballon d'Or winner in the middle of the pitch. And yes, replacing Rodri is almost impossible. For years, City have been able to build their midfield around one assumption, that Rodri is going to be there. He is the safety net. He drops between the centre-backs, he controls the tempo, he wins the second balls, he allows everyone else to take risks, and when City loses the ball, Rodri is usually the first player you see killing the counter-attack before it became dangerous. But if he's gone, City can't simply buy another player and say, right, do exactly what Rodri did. Because there probably isn't another Rodri. So instead, City have to ask a completely different question. What if we don't replace him with one player? What if we replace his role with a system? And suddenly, that opens up some really interesting possibilities. Maybe Rico Lewis gets a bigger role centrally. Maybe Nico Gonzalez gets the chance to establish himself. Maybe City go into a market and bring in a player like Enzo Fernandez. And suddenly, instead of one player controlling everything, you have several players capable of controlling different parts of the game. That's potentially much harder to prepare for. This might actually be the biggest opportunity of all. Rodri has been so good that, at times, it's been difficult for anybody else to properly inherit that position. Why would you change something that works, right? But when your best player leaves, suddenly the door is wide open. And that's how football dynasties evolve. One generation eventually has to make room for the next. Look at City's squad. There are players who've spent years learning alongside some of the greatest players in the club's history. Now, they're going to have to step forward. And this pressure can create stars. Maybe the next midfielder who becomes absolutely essential to City isn't a 100 million signing. Maybe he's already there. Maybe this is the moment when City discover him. And here's the twist. I'm not convinced City should panic. Look at the history. Manchester City have lost enormous players before. Vincent Kompany, David Silva, Aguero, Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne. Every time people ask the same question, how can they possibly replace them? And eventually City found another way. Not necessarily a like-for-like replacement, but they found a new solution. That's the difference. Great clubs don't replace legends, they replace eras. And if Rodri really does leave Manchester City, this might not be the beginning of City's decline. It might be the beginning of their next evolution. So, who do you think should become City's next midfield leader? Should there be 1, 2 or 3 midfield leaders? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.